Hi, I'm Shona. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my yoga classes. The intention with this class is to help you come down again when you're stressed. Imagine come from being up here in your head, in the air, coming back down to the ground, coming back to your body. For the class, we'll be using like a pillow to sit on, if you like, and a yoga belt. I hope you enjoy the practice. We're going to start the class in child's pose today. So come to child's pose, come to your hands and knees, then bring the toes together behind you. And press your hips back towards your heels, and then walk the hands forward and release the forehead down to the floor. But feel that the forehead is resting. There's no tension between the eyebrows. Let your jaw release. Press your hands into the floor to press your body back so you can feel a bit of length being created in the lower back. Release your belly, release your abdomen. And then you can bring the hands back towards your feet so that the hands rest on the floor. The backs of the hands are resting on the floor, and the arms release. It can be heavy around your legs. Take long and deep inhales and long and deep exhales. You can then walk the hands forward again. And then come up, lift your body up so that you're coming to a hands and knees position. Bring the hands so that they're as wide as your shoulders. Spread the fingers. Really feel each fingertip on the floor, the full palm of the hand pressing into the floor. Tuck the toes behind you and lift yourself to Adho Mukha Svanasana, to downward dog, but keep the knees bent. Just work on lifting your sitting bones up and back, lengthening the sides of the body. Then release the knees to the floor again. Bring the toes together behind you and press yourself back to child's pose, Adho Mukha Virasana. Take a few breaths. When you come to your next inhale, lift yourself to hands and knees position again, keeping that attention on the way that the hands are pressing into the floor, that really every finger is pressing down. Tuck the toes behind you. Lift to downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Again, keep the knees bent. Just work on lifting the hips up and back, extending the arms, breathing here as well. Don't forget the breath. On your next exhale, release the knees to the floor. Bring the toes together behind you and press back to child's pose. Letting the face relax when your forehead is resting on the floor. letting the forehead be quiet, releasing the jaw. See if you can feel where your tongue is in your mouth. On the next inhale, lift yourself to hands and knees again. Look at your hands. Maybe just lift up all of the fingers off the floor, so it's just the hand palm that's pressing into the floor. You can't see, maybe you can see it in the video, but my fingers are not managing to lift that far up. That's fine, but just see if you can lift them all, press the hand palms down, release the fingers down, tuck the toes, and then press yourself up and back to full Adho Mukha Svanasana with the legs straight. And then you can bend one knee as you really extend the other leg. And then move through this action a few times for yourself, bending one knee while you extend the other leg. Let your head release, let your head hang. Keep the awareness, the attention on the movement in your legs and on your hands pressing into the floor. Then once you've done both sides evenly, you can release the knees to the floor. Press yourself back to child's pose, bringing the toes behind you, releasing the forehead down. And then you can bring the hands beside your body again. Hand palms facing up. Let the shoulders release down around your knees, around your legs. Release the belly. You can bring the hands beside your knees, beside your legs, and press your chest up. And then come to a seated position with the legs crossed in front of you. Bring the right leg in front first, and the left leg in the back, and just tuck the feet as much as possible under the knees. If you find that your knees are coming up really high in this position, it's totally fine. Just add a small cushion or a folded blanket underneath your sitting bones so that your knees are not much higher than your hips. Then circle the arms to the side and up. Lift them up. Reach the fingers up and then turn over to the right side. Bring one hand behind you, bring one hand on the knee, and start to turn. You can bend the elbows to the side, that can help with the turn. And use your breath to help you turn. So you're not turning straight away to your maximum, but on an inhale you lengthen up. And then on an exhale you might have a little bit more space in the abdomen to turn. And come to the center. And circle the arms to the side and up. As you exhale, twist over to the left side. Same thing here, bend the elbows to the side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Turn to the front. And change the crisscross of the legs. Bring the left leg forward. See if you can get the feet under the knees. Stretch the hands to the side, really reach the fingers away like you have the hands on the floor. The same action with the hands, except this time you're not on the floor, you're in the air. Really activate the hands. Stretch the fingers away, Lift the arms up, turn the hand palms towards each other, and then turn to the right. One hand behind you, one hand on the knee. Lift the chest. On an inhale, lengthen, and as you exhale, twist. Move with the rhythm of your breath in the twist. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. Come to the center, or the front, face the front again. Stretch the arms out. Feel the hands are active. Lift the arms up, turn the hand palms to face each other. Reach up and then turn on an exhale to the left side. One hand behind you, one hand on the knee, and twist. Turn back to the center, and then you can come to downward facing dog again. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Do it slowly, arrive there slowly. So focus on the hands. Just really press the hand palms into the floor, lift the fingers, and release the fingers down. Tuck the toes behind you. And then press yourself back. Keep the knees bent for now. Lift yourself up, lengthen the arms. And then you can start to straighten the legs. Releasing the heels back and down. On your next inhale, bend the knees again, press your chest towards your thighs. Look forward to the hands, and as you exhale, you can step the feet up towards the hands and come to Uttanasana. Release the head, release the neck. And here you can hold the elbows. Keep the feet rooted down, pressing down into the floor. The legs are long. You can let the weight of the hands on the elbows just gently pull your chest down. Release the head. Bring the hands onto the shins or onto the thighs and look forward. Extend forwards, the sides of the body here, the rib cage is long. And then fold forward into full Uttanasana again. Hold the elbows, and if you can remember which way you held them, you can do the opposite way. Release the elbows, bring the hand palms to the floor again. Deliberately move the hands. Look at them as they press down. And you can bend the knees and step the feet back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lengthen the heels towards the floor. Lengthen the legs. Lift your hips up and back. Then you can release your knees down to the floor. Tuck the toes behind you. Come to sit back on the heels. From here, you can lift up so that you're in a kneeling position. Toes are tucked behind you. You can bring the hands to your hips and roll the elbows back. So bring the weight to the left leg and start to lift the right knee off the floor. Move gently, move slowly. Lift the right leg up fully, and then see if you can put the right foot onto the floor, landing with the heel first, and then coming to the front of the foot. Stretch the toes as wide apart as possible, like we did with the fingers earlier. And then release the toes down to the floor. You can untuck the left foot and start to move forward, bringing a stretch to the front of the left thigh, making sure that that knee is above the right ankle. So maybe you need to walk the right leg forward just a little bit, depending on what's possible with your body. Keep the hands on the hips for now. And breathe. Move really gently and slowly here. You don't want to just collapse. You really want to move to where you still feel like you're able to hold yourself in the position and you're not just falling into the front hip, the front leg. Then you can lift the arms forward and up again, hand palms facing each other, reach up. You can even look up between the hands, if that's possible for your neck. On your next exhale, bring the hands forward and down. Interlace the hands behind your back. Roll the shoulders back, reach hands away from your body, from your bum. Release the hands. And then we're going to try and come out the way we came in. So really gently lengthen that front leg. Lift the toes off the floor. Maybe you need to retuck your left toes. And then see if you can lift the leg and come again to a kneeling position. Find your stable position on the floor. Roll the shoulders back. We do the same thing over on the other side. So bring the weight a little over to the right leg. Lift the left leg off the floor. Raise, there's always one side that's easier than the other. Raise the foot up, land. This is my weaker side. Land the left heel on the floor. Then the left ball of the foot. Spread the toes and place each toe individually on the floor. And then you can start to slowly move into the lunge position. Again, maybe you'll need to move your foot slightly forward. You don't want to collapse, you still want your core to be active here. Feeling the stretch on the front of the right thigh, front of the right hip flexor. Then you can bring the arms forward and up as you inhale. If it's possible for you, you can look between the hands. Inhaling and exhaling here. Being in the pose. Bring the hands forward and down as you exhale next. Interlace the hands behind the back. Roll the shoulders back. Then you can release the hands. Bring the hands to the hips, and we're going to try and come out the way we came in, so that you have really the weight that you need on the right leg. Lift up the left leg and bring the left knee down. Then sit back down on the heels. Walk your hands forward along the floor and come to downward facing dog again. Press yourself up and back. Lengthen. Lengthen the arms, lengthen the legs. And then you can step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, and then release your left knee to the floor and untuck the toe. And maybe your back is really rounded here if your hand palm is on the floor, so you can come up onto fingertips to find length in the back, or even onto blocks. I don't have any blocks here to show you, but come up onto some blocks as well. That's also possible. You can press the hand palm into the floor again, tuck the left toes and step yourself back to downward facing dog. Then you can step the left foot forward and release the right knee to the floor. The same thing is possible here. If you find that you're really rounding in the upper back, just come up onto fingertips. Keep breathing. Tuck the right toes. Press the hands into the floor. Step yourself all the way back to downward facing dog. And again, step the right foot outside the right hand, but this time keep the left leg active. Lift the left hip up. Again, you can come up onto fingertips here if that's helpful. Moving the right knee forward and the left heel back. Step the right foot back. Breathing, finding a bit of quietness in the downward dog. And then step the left foot forward. Again, keeping the right leg active. Reaching the right heel back, reaching the left knee forward. Keeping the hips level, so you probably have to make sure that the right hip doesn't drop down. Looking forward, so you are also extending the chest, moving forward. Press the hands into the floor, step back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. From the downward dog position, you can step your right foot forward and walk the hands all the way around to the long side of your mat. You'll need to adjust your feet, so line your feet up with the back of the mat. So the heels, both heels, are touching the back of the mat. Toes pointing forwards and hands under the shoulders. Extend your chest forward in Prasarita Padottanasana. And then keeping the feet pressing into the floor, you can start to walk the hands back in line with the feet. Bend the elbows backwards and release the head. Keep the legs active. The outside of the foot is pressing into the floor. Make sure you're not falling backwards, but you're really above the feet. Walk the hands forward, underneath the shoulders, look forward. And with the legs active, press the feet down, all of the attention, all of the focus in the feet, in the legs. Bring the hands to the hips, root the feet down to lift the chest up. You can walk the feet a little closer to each other. You still want to have a wide stance, but now turn the toes out on both feet, and you can bend the knees so that you're in a high squat position. Keep the knees nice above the ankles, and then stretch the arms to the side. Spreading the fingers, From here, you can bring the arms together, bring the right arm over the left, and just hug your shoulders. Stretch the arms to the side. This time bring the left arm over the right, and hug your shoulders. Stretch the arms out to the side, reach away, bring the hands to the hips, and lengthen the legs. Turn the heels out so that the toes are pointing forward again. Just check that the heels are in line with each other. Bring the hands to the hips, root the feet down, have the attention in the feet, the awareness in the legs, and then come forward and down again. Prasarita Padottanasana, go directly to the full pose, so bring the hands in line with the feet, release the head, release the neck. Keep the awareness in the feet, in the legs. It can be helpful sometimes just to lift the toes up and then release the toes back down to the floor. Keeping the awareness in the feet, in the legs. Press the feet down, keep the legs active as you lift the hands up to the waist. Bring the hands on the hips and then lift the chest forward and up. Again, bring the feet a little closer into each other. Turn the toes out. Come to your high squat, your high Malasana. Stretch the arms out to the side. You can do what we just did, hugging the shoulders, or you can bring the right arm above the left, cross the elbows, and then see if you can bring the hand palms against each other. Lift the hands up, so the elbows are in line with the eyes. And release the arms. Stretch them to the other side. Stretching the arms, and then bring the left arm over the right. Bring the hand palms together, lift the arms up. Breathing still. Keeping the awareness in the feet, and then stretch the arms, and you can stretch the legs. Bring the hands down, and then come back to downward facing dog. Just bring the hands to the floor, bring the feet to the floor. Press yourself up and back. Lengthen the arms and the legs. Release your head. Move the heels back. You can then release the knees to the floor. Bring the toes together behind you and come all the way back to child's pose again. Releasing the forehead to the floor. It's your choice here. You can have the hands stretched forward, or if you like, you can bring the arms again beside your body, hand palms facing the ceiling. Let your jaw release. Soften any tension that was created in the face, in the throat. You can sit up and come to a seated position again. And bring the soles of the feet together. We're going to do Baddha Konasana. So the soles of the feet are touching, the toes are touching. And then you have the heels pulled in towards you. You can bring the hands around the ankles to help lift the chest and lengthen the spine. You want to feel like the top of your head, the crown of your head is moving up, trying to touch the ceiling. You're growing tall. And then just let the knees release down. Like at the beginning of the class, if your knees are way up here, take a little pillow. I'll show it actually. So it doesn't have to be anything fancy, it can just be a regular pillow, your couch pillow. Come and sit a little higher up if your knees are feeling like they're really much higher than your hips. And that height will really help. It's also really nice to sit on something to help you lengthen up. Come back to your breath. That skin between the eyebrows, around your forehead, let that release. Unclench your jaw. And then you can either hold onto the feet or walk the hands forward, it's up to you. And just start to release down over the feet, over the legs. Your back can round. You're still pressing the feet together. You're still releasing the knees down. And really feel this in the hips. You can release the head, you can release the neck. See if you can feel the individual toes still touching each other. And then slowly lift yourself back up. Bring the knees together. Just be really gentle when you bring your legs back together. And then you can take your belt or your strap, whatever you have, and come and lie on your back. I have a yoga belt strap, but you can use anything. The belt of your dressing gown, a scarf, really anything works, to be honest. It's nice if it's a little bit wide so that it can feel nice against your foot. If it's like a rope, it will have a bit of pain. So you can lie down on the floor. Have both knees bent, and then stretch the left leg along the floor. And then you're going to pull in the right knee and bring the belt around the heel of the foot. Really try and make it the heel. Hold onto the belt as close as you can. Don't figure out this as you go. You can obviously change where you're holding. And then press the heel into the belt. You see that my hands are sliding down when I do that. That's totally fine. And you lift the leg, pressing the heel into the belt. And then lengthen the leg fully. And keep the heel pressing up. And you can feel that your pelvis is supported by the floor. By pressing the heel into the belt, you can feel the grounding of your sacrum on the mat. Open the back of the knee. You can bend the right leg, come down, you can swap to the belt. Stretch the right leg along the floor. Maybe you feel, I feel like my legs are a totally different length now. See how it feels in your body. Pull the left leg in, bring the belt onto really the heel of the left foot. Hold as close as possible on the belt. And then keeping the right heel still pressing in the floor, press the left heel into the belt and your hands slide down the belt as you lengthen the leg. Lift and lengthen. With the belt, you're going to make sure that you're holding so that your shoulders can still be on the floor. Press the heel, the left heel into the belt. Feel the floor beneath you. Feel the floor on your sacrum, under your shoulder blades, under the back of your head. Release the belt. Bring the belt to the side. And bend both knees. Place both feet on the floor. And bring your hands to your abdomen. You don't have to do anything particular with your breath, but just feel that your body is breathing. Feel the movements that are happening. Maybe the more you pay attention to your breath, it starts to slow down. You can pull the knees in towards the chest, bring your hands onto the knees and make a few small circles with the knees. Just move gently at your own pace. Make sure to go in the opposite direction as well. The body has its preferences and the direction it goes automatically, so deliberately do the opposite direction. You can bring that movement to a close. And then bring the hands through the insides of the legs and hold onto the outsides of the feet. Bring the feet together, bring the heels down, release your feet, and then bring the feet to the floor. And stretch the legs all the way out in front of you. Release the feet out to the side. Bring the arms down by your sides. Let the hand palms face the ceiling. And close your eyes gently if you're in a space where you feel comfortable to close your eyes. And for the next few moments in Shavasana, just follow the rhythm of your own breath. Pay attention to the sound of your breath. You can start to bring movement back to your fingers and your toes. Bring your hands to your abdomen. And bend the knees one by one and place the feet flat on the floor. You feel that your feet are on the ground. You can roll over to your right side. Place, gently open your eyes and help yourself up to seated position. Bring the palms together in front of the chest. Thank you for your practice.